Thanks. You're so kind. I think where I can position this that's technically close enough that it's usable, but not like right in the middle of all the bloody oil and shit. I think there is fine. I can like see most of the stream. And I think our oil is finally starting to boil. It's getting fragrant, so in goes quite a lot of steak that I've cut up before we started. Get all the blood in there, because it's good for flavor. Pepper garlic. Yeah. Thank you. So there is our peppers, well, our chili pepper and our normal pepper for flavor on the meat. And I pre-seasoned it before I cut it, so it should all be just kind of tasty. I'll just move it around a little bit for a while until it all starts browning over. Because the joy is we're using sirloin steak, so I don't need to worry too much about it being brown all the way through. It'll be going back in the wok after some of the vegetables are a bit more done. You need to boil up some water for the noodles, but that can wait until the onions are on. And that, I think, we're good. Yes, we do not have an overhead light there, which is annoying, but whatever. Put that back here for now. Because it's kind of annoying trying to do that one hand. There we go, now it's getting nice and good. So the juice is starting to fry up and boil up a bit and kind of create its own sauce-like consistence, which is good. It means it'll add flavor later. That's all the blood from the steak being drawn out and the blood from the cuts finally forming around. This is why you prefer fresh steak rather than frozen, because it means that there's more of this in it. It's good for the flavor and it's good for the texture. And it helps with the sauce later to kind of bind it a little bit to the meat. Gives it a bit more of a headier flavor. I don't actually know what words I'm using. I'm kind of pulling them out of my ass, but I'm not worried about it. All the sauce is this wonderful brown nondescript mixture, which contains brown sugar, soy sauce, and sherry in a 2-3-1 consistency, or in this case 9-6-3. It's mainly soy sauce, but there's like, hey, sorry I'm late. I literally just started, Scarlett, don't worry about it. We're just browning our meat. bowl just to put it all in.
Everyone is doing stuff, so there'll be a lot of stuff sold out. I'm looking at barbecues. I looked at the Pavilion website. Also, they roll them every year. All the barbecues are gone. This is what they did in Clonberry's. This is not the very before. This is just after the start. So the way it was, you'll see where the main doors and stuff are. But the pub is there.
Lean or fatty? Oh, lean.
Big double emergency.
Cut in short strips. Really looking, not frozen either. Yes, no, fresh only. I don't like using frozen steaks. I've used frozen steaks before. They're totally fine. It's all you have, and I will never say no to free steak if it's frozen. But just because I didn't have it, I kind of tend to prefer buying it fresh. That's like the vacuum sealed stuff. It's not like Tesco Finest, but it's like Tesco Red Label. Not butchered, because I didn't have time to get to a butcher today before anything closed. I did season it. I put salt and pepper on it before I cut it an hour ago. So it had more than enough time to both dry and braise and season. How dare you? You make it sound like I don't know how to cook steak. Literally, I spend most of my time, when I can, cooking steak. Garlic. I forgot to put in the garlic. I will get to that in a bit. I'll use that with the onions. We actually just have garlic powder. So you get a lot of time. Fresh garlic would be nice, but garlic powder will do. I know, I forgot to. Give me a stick. Life hack. Teaspoon garlic powder. And that's how you unstick stuck garlic. And I know a clove would be nicer, but I forgot to both cut, peel, and make one, or prepare any. I don't normally add garlic. I normally just add garlic powder because it's easier and convenient, and it means I don't have a ton of garlic in my fridge. That poor steak. How dare you? It's fine. Yeah, I think this is just getting on enough. We can start moving it on. Also, hey Ply Tiger, what's up? Also, hey Koro. Yes, I think it's time that we bowl it up in our nice bunny bowl because we have nothing else that's big enough to hold it all. To be honest, I use the powder. See? We're not all professionals. Some of us just cook with what we have. I don't normally buy garlic for that reason. With this bloody plate. Trying not to get my arm in the way here.
No, so they did that during the first lockdown last year. So we obviously go back. So they that's how it was laid out essentially before they did it up. And they did it up and they slightly kitchen sink potatoes and then
not fond, but it's just kind of sludge. Add good flavor. Let's do it. Put that aside for the moment. I'll get some kitchen towel just to wipe the edge. So I don't want that burning onto the stovetop because it's rather annoying to get rid of. There we go. That back there for a moment. The wok nice and hot. Oh no, I am using this wok again, Scarlet. I am not stopping now. But here is our finished product. Nice, delicious cooked beef. Reporting abuse. I seen a thing about cooking. That's cool. Oh, thank you for the follow. I didn't even notice. My audio playing? It should be. Did the sound alert come through like that? Just sorry, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Spread it around a bit. So there's a layer there. Because next up is our onions. Those onions are actually going to absorb a lot of the meat juice that's left over. What sides are you doing? Just noodles. I kind of all just mix it all together once it's done. So there's no like specific sides, it's just as it is. Because trust me, this feeds a family of 5 quite easily. And I was making this for myself for a while, so I'd have like 2 or 3 days of leftover stir fry to make. Or to eat. So if you want a recipe that feeds a family, this is a good one. If anyone wants the specific recipe, reach out to me and I will send it on. This one's dead, so I'm safe for 10 minutes. And you got soy sauce, add a dash to the onions. Ah! I got better. I have soy sauce, cream sherry, and some soft brown sugar mixed in a 3-2-1. And what I'll do is I'll drop that in a moment when the rest of the vegetables go in, so it actually soaks into all of them. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to caramelize these a little bit, just till they start getting soft. And that way I can kind of disguise them as noodles. That's why I cut them long rather than cutting them short. And they kind of just work better with bean sprouts. I think what I ended up adding as a pepper was jalapeno, so it just works. Yeah, Bonnie. Just stopping by, hope good too. Thank you very much, Kamikaze. Nice to see you again. Cooking onions in the air fryer with stir bar works really good. I don't have an air fryer here is the problem, but I like having the pan kind of inlaid with the flavor of the onion for what I'm cooking. Anyway, I'm going to go back to date night. Let me know how it goes. Sure. I will let you know, Scarlett. No oil either. That is good. Muscovado sugar and a good call. I think it's Tarama sugar? Or Duram, something like that. Begins with B. Okay, our onions are starting to get towards the consistency we want. Where it's kind of, it's not burnt, but it's like starting to singe a little bit. I see onions like dead people better. What's up, Ben? How are you? Saute those onions. Oh yeah, baby. What's up, Bilbo? Yeah, I wish I had an air fryer here, but I don't. I will actually be moving back home in a couple of weeks, so these kind of streams are going to be a bit more consistent. And I might do more, baking streams, because we do have a nice big K-mix and blender. So I can do things that are a little bit more different than what I have at home, because I don't have the equipment for some of the stuff I'd like to make. Whereas we got the K-mix, so we might as well use it. Strike a pose. I'm good. What's cooking? Steak stir fry with noodles. Water is boiled for the noodles. Our onions are kind of gaining this soft texture, which we want. You can see them kind of moving. They're starting to kind of clump a little bit, which means they're heading towards the right side of cooked that I want. And the rest will kind of cook out as time goes on. It's very awkward to cut onions side on. I know there's probably a method to do it which works, but I am not aware of that method, so... Also, if there are recipes people want to see me try, feel free to send them as well. I will try and do my best. Oh yeah, short hair. I got a haircut. Chillin', buddy. Stoked to see you. Delicious ass meal. Oh man. This is like one of my favorite things to cook. When I actually do cook for myself and not just stick something that's like pre-made in the oven. Okay, so this is getting where we want it to be. So I'm gonna take this, like, look at that. We got onions just kind of sticking there. I'm gonna just get a spotlight out on my phone. Well, that's just off the heat, kind of frying off a little bit. Just look at that. Beautiful. That's kind of how you want it, just kind of sticking, just a bit. Ooh, we have curved this thing like crazy. That wasn't curved when I started. Stir fry is boss. Stir fry is fucking great. I love good stir fry. Okay, so that's enough of that. So, put it back on the heat. Is our veg mix, which there is a good amount, around half of our sauce. And yeah, you can hear it just at the bottom there. It's nice and gurgly. And that will soak right into the onions, because that's at the base layer when I poured it. And the onions have already lost a bunch of moisture and oil because of the frying, so it will reabsorb the sauce and add the flavor. The chat seems to want you to add tomatoes. They can get lost. I'm not putting fucking bitter, disgusting tomatoes in my goddamn stir fry. But yeah, and our vegetable mix is a red pepper, a yellow pepper, a scallion, and we've got some bean sprouts on as well. Just the whole bag in on top of that. How about wine? Peppers and mushrooms. Peppers are already in it. Mushrooms I'm not a big fan of, so I don't tend to add them. But peppers are always a polarizing topic. Or mushrooms are always polarizing, I've found. And to be honest, most of my family don't really eat mushroom, so I tended not to add it whenever I was making it, because this is where I'd make it mostly. Was with family or people who just didn't like mushrooms. So here is all our nice vegetables starting to mix together and look nice and colorful. Rice or egg noodles? Egg noodles. I would have the fresh ones that I normally buy from the Asian food store, but I forgot them, so instead I have to go with the closest thing I can find in Tesco, which is Blue Dragon medium noodles, because I kind of prefer thicker noodles when they're soft all the way through. They add a lot of nice texture and a lot of decent substance when you're taking bites. I also add the bean sprouts into the frying stage, or the secondary frying stage, because it softens them up, and once again it adds a more noodle-like consistency to them, So it's like having tons of noodles basically in it with vegetable rather than just bean sprouts and onions and peppers and all these other things. And the scallions are good flavor as well, so they're well worth the ad because everyone likes scallions. Bean sprouts, mushrooms, peppers. I'm jealous of your wok. Mine is from like 18. This is not my wok. This is my parents' wok. My wok at home is kind of like this. It's silver, but my usual wok is out there, and it's one of those classic like wood-handled black iron ones, which I quite like using. But it hasn't seen as much use since this was bought. So it's covered in a layer of dust because I'm not here to use it. So I need to wash it before I start using it again. But I think that's starting to get where it needs to be. So I need to start boiling up our noodles. Pre-boiled water to help speed it up. And just a little sprig of salt in the bottom of water to help boiling, because salt actually helps water reach its boiling point faster because its melting point is lower than water. Just keep moving this in the meantime so nothing burns and nothing sticks to the bottom. It's a non-stick wok, but I'm used to the woks that don't come with that, so just kind of tend to keep it in good practice to keep the minimum amount of time off. Just wait for our water to come to the boil. In the meantime, opens Twitch steak. It's a good time, man. It's a good time. He's far too mild for that. How dare you? Bonnie couldn't be mean like that if you tried. You don't know me in real life, man. Clearly you haven't talked to me enough in real life. Yeah, I forgot, we have cash as well. Johnny pointed take cover. Off to Genova now. Enjoy, man. I'll probably pop into him once I'm done. Thank you. Need help making a curry. Shout it's a specialty. Hey, good to know. Is it? That wasn't even an attempt. Fuck you. But yeah, I'm gonna go with 3 baskets. With just enough water to cover all. And use the spatula because that adds a little bit of flavor. And all the sauce is slowly starting to fry off, which is a good sign. So we're going to reintroduce our steak and its sauce. So it starts blending that a little bit now that some of the rest of the main sauce is frying off the vegetables. Get those all introduced to each other. Drop that F-bomb. Fuck you. Scrape down your outside so that nothing's just stuck on the edge. a little fork just to adjust all the stuff. Called wok a shithead. No, it's a good wok. Why would I do that? The wok does its job. Those idiots on Kitchen Nightmares that don't. They deserve to be called a fuckhead. Well, you know, that or Clive Palmer. Clive Palmer definitely deserves to be called a fuckhead. I think everything is now nicely blended together, so I'm just waiting for the noodles to finish off. Most of this is just preparation, which I didn't do on camera because it's kind of boring. But I like doing this kind of bit because it's short, yes, but it's fun. I loved when he put the bread on that one person's head called an idiot sandwich. It's an iconic moment of the show. That was the F word, wasn't it? Not Kitchen Nightmares. But yeah, so there's some cashews in here, steak, a little bit of fried blood, a little bit of sauce, peppers, bean sprouts, scallions, salt, pepper, I think a jalapeno, sirloin steak, got that, cut into strips / chunks. That's about it. I think our egg noodles are starting to slowly separate out. But I think they're going to take a minute or two, so I'm just going to take this off the heat a bit. And let that just boil away for a few minutes. And that will just let everything kind of stew together and not burn. Here's our wonderful set. You're a cooking lord. Classic. I'm not sure which show it's from, to be honest. I think it sounds so good. But yeah, we still have half the sauce left. I'm going to give another mix so that the sugar that's in it doesn't settle too much. I'm booking a flight, save me a bowl. I think by the time a fucking flight from Ontario arrives, it'll be well eaten. I've got 4 very hungry people who've been waiting since like 6:30 for this because I took too long cutting veg. Come on, separate, you bastards. This is the other reason why I prefer the fresh stuff. I actually know how long it takes to boil those off. Should have boiled those when the vegetables went in. We'll be fine. We're getting there. Just letting everything talk to each other. Oh yeah. The microphone is like literally here as well. So like everything's really close together because I can't use the counter behind me I normally would. Because there's some other stuff going on, but it's fine. Good old tea on the loop, by the way. Great gallery. Should check them out. I have to turn off my flashlight. There we go. It's a good time. We're getting there. I'm just waiting for the noodles to finish boiling and then I can add the mix in. So, 5 minutes? Okay. So yeah. I think we're in a good position though. So I think the noodles are starting to get to a good place. Just give them another stir up. Try not to get my hands stuck in the steam. Actually get them to separate out a bit so they're not all clumped together. Ah, fuck. Also, the heat's still on the hob underneath my arm, which is really nice. When it burns under my arms, and people are gonna be like, "How did you do that?" I think we're getting places with our noodles. So that's boiling off the last. I think the last basket needs a few moments. Just very quickly. Oh, you're at poutine. I had Jason make it one time. You should tell him to make some on your next one. Maybe I will. I have a lot of requests for man pie, so I think that might be the next thing I have to make on the demands of people like Motley and some of the others from that group. And before anyone asks, man pie is an old family recipe that my dad came up with a couple of years ago when he was a poor student living in Ireland on his first job, or well, living in Waterford with his first job. And it's kind of a favorite of me and my sisters. I'm just kind of waiting for a night when my mom isn't here, because mom doesn't like it too much. So it tends to be it's something that we save for whenever mom is away. Because it's like one of the most carb heavy things I've ever made. Because it's like pastry and spaghetti and beans. But you know, it's one of those student meals where it's like technically a meal, and in that way it becomes very tasty. Right. That'll be dope. Thank you. We will try. I will try and make poutine though. Because my family does have a gravy recipe that might be a good one. Does it have to be chicken gravy specifically, or does it have to, or can it be any gravy? Because I think what my family does is beef gravy. But if chicken gravy is better, I wouldn't mind trying to make it. Because then what I could do is kind of a dirty fries poutine mix where there's like chicken in it as well. Fry up some chicken for it and then use that to make the gravy. That's good. That's where we need them. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we're literally down the road from Woolies as well, like in towards Wyatt. We have noodles. Cutlery down. Usually beef. Chicken would be awesome too. So shredded chicken. Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Because like every time I've heard mentions of poutine in media, it's like KFC related. So it's always chicken gravy. So we're gonna reintroduce our noodles. I am hoping I have made enough noodles. We shall see. So now that those are in there, I'm just gonna turn off this hob. And mix the last of our sauce. Pour that in over the noodles. So it kind of goes in on top and then just scrape out the last of the brown sugar. Because we want that kind of syrupy sludge that forms from the alcohol and the soy sauce and the sugar. To mix in, and that kind of adds a lot to the bottom, so turn up the heat a little bit, back up to an 8. And we start the mix. Thanks for the stretch, Andre. Oh, and thank you for the follow too. I don't think my follow alerts are playing. I can't hear them. That or I just have the computer muted, but whatever. I have no idea what I just did, but points. Well, save them, man. We use them for community challenges mainly. And I'm planning another speed run, but I think that'll be a 12-hour stream kind of speed run. Because I'm planning on doing something a little bit different. See, can I get onto a leaderboard for something that technically has no entries at the moment? Because there's a category, but no one's done anything on it. So I want to see, can I be the first person on it? And look at that. We're getting places now. Yep, and the sauce is starting to drip in and drain, mix, and that's what we want. So we should be serving up in 2 minutes. Almost. Perfect. Meat is perfect. Noodles are right. Just want to get a taste because the other standard is the pepper. Should be kind of soft, but just crunchy. Perfect. And yeah, I think we're good. So let's serve. weighty bastard.
One type. Now these are all for 35 to 40 burgers, or 14 to 16 chicken chickens, or 18 to 20 steaks, or 20 racks of ribs vertically, or one crisp sauce.
It's actually cheap helps, even though it's all the same.
Yes. Yes, but I show you why.
If you just
Your nose that you why did there should be a part out there like that. I don't know, my time is too much. So there's a term stress, but or if you want that. It is boy, it's not good. This is good if you develop your yeah, but it's in height. But there's doors in it. This is the smallest one. It's 18. 10 times 11. It's only 25 centimeters long. That's the big area. 2 chicken breasts, 2 pork chops, 1 steak. No, no, no. 2 chicken breasts, or 1 pork chop. That's the mini. Which is mini. Medium dire takes it and 2x. You drive. So just rip. But this is specifically big. This is. Oh yes. This was 38 cook an 18-pound turkey or 6 burgers, or 2 chicken,
It's kind of distributed rice, I suppose.
or 4 steaks, or 4 racks of ribs.
And I think that's kind of everything. So yeah.
I was on a ship actually. Well, I wasn't. I just visited a ship. Thank you very much. I visited a ship. No, no, no. I'm fine. They are amazing. I don't know how much they I'm looking at one of the waivers. I'm looking to get some people like
Ah,
one of the decent.
I love cooking this so much
waivers.
because it always comes out so nice.
They come and then they come in around 500 euros. Yeah, fair enough. The waivers are really good. I've had waivers before.
Just moving stuff out of the way so I can actually have the microphone a little bit closer. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Also, if you have waivers, the smaller ones,
Oh, thank you.
they're mostly portable and come on a set of legs. You need to off set of legs, throw them in the back of the truck and off you go from there. That's really good. Really good one.
That's why I choose good steak.
Even just the sauce flavor.
That off there taking great interest in the underneath your pan.
Mm-hmm. Look at the space in here.
It fit like 3 of me.
But aside from that, I don't really think I need to get. What if I feel I want to?
great to don't have to sit around because they can actually do something when they want to do.
I think the rent isn't great. But she didn't. I didn't set her money limit, and she just said, "Right, that's it." You know what I mean?
Which means when you do move, you bring kit with you, so you won't be trying to factor buying more kit without the kit.
And you know, it's annoying because I have collected kit in the past, but then I've moved countries.
And that's the school or that's
I have to sell it.
And that's why we were thinking of take the storage and put your stuff in. Like the stuff we have for lights, so you can't get this stuff.
I got
We got a really low tables and tables that can that they in the past and it's taking it's not a really modern 1970s before fabulous you know, eventually if you portrait and have to do more and doing it, it's like it's not it's nice to be able to pick up different things from the
it is. I really, it's the same thing. Really, not that I really miss it, but I loved my armchair, my not.
This is so good.
Couch.
Steak is so perfectly juicy.
The charity, I brought it to the charity shop. They were so comfy. That couch, I have not found ever another couch comfy for lying out on. I just can't find one that's comfy. And I really. No, sure, I let it go because I couldn't really. Yeah. Now, I know where it is. I gave it to Maura, and Maura still has it. And every now and again, she sends me a picture of a theme party she has where she put it up. They did they had a couple of years ago. They did a tiki beach bar theme New Year's party, and she got ham prawns and ham prawns all over it, and it was perfect as a tiki bar.
I'm gonna say hi to Philip. Oh, don't worry, dude. Enjoy. I'll probably be closing down the stream in a few minutes anyway, so once this is done and it's on the Clean Play Club.
And it's very hard to get those views. But they were junk from work. A lot of it was just sticking in the back of the car and my phone.
But the wire always hanging, you know. We always have to stay on for
Well, it becomes super popular. I'm sure you've seen this outdoor table furniture. All the hipster places.
like we were young. And then they became
Even when I was in England, I mean, that wasn't that long ago. They were just dumped. No one wanted them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's only, when did I leave? 2017, 20. Yeah, January 2017.
Find the kitchen towel I've put it down.
Kitchen towels, bottom drawer. The few ones.
That's not in the bottom drawer.
Yeah, they're not used.
Behind the computer.
Very expensive to buy.
Yes.
We only had them on. We got them because we bought lengths of cable to work. We were building equipment, and if you buy a few hundred meters of cable, it comes on this rickety, crappy one. But we were buying cable by a kilometer, 1 kilometer reels. So just because of the weight of the cable, they can't use rickety old shitty ones. So they have to use really solid ones, and that's what we got. You can only really get gigantic ones that are far too large. Yeah.
But then maybe doing it going to be
And even the TV I had in England was brilliant. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, did you just leave all your stuff behind you?
No, I sold it.
Oh,
The couch.
did you bring anything back?
No, I couldn't. I looked at it, but it was so expensive to get it shipped back. There was no point.
Especially when you're you know,
And I was also moving to New Zealand. I wasn't coming home. I was going to New Zealand.
Actually, I can't remember if I did bring the couch.
I can't remember what I did.
But that's why we said to them, yeah, great, love you, get home, but they can't get it.
I don't know where the couch went. I know that the armchair, Bree took the armchair. She was pregnant at the time. And the armchair was really wide, it was super comfy, but the arms were quite high. And so when she had the baby, she would essentially, she sat down and she said, well, when I have a baby and I want to sit down, I want to feed the child, I can sit my elbow on there and it will just prop me entirely when I'm feeding the child. And it was just perfect for her.
You weren't hungry at home, so you could say, "Well, this is hungry." No, I don't think so. And that's a clean plate.
What time does that garage open at?
Definitely.
What's the day like in there?
It's pretty good.
Grand.
Max all delis are grand.
I think the longest one at the road is better.
Yeah. The next one out is better because if you go for a walk early in the morning, you get the smell of cooking. It's the worst thing ever because you're out there, you haven't had your breakfast, you're walking by it, and you get this heavenly smell of cooking.
Because of the competition, the one that's over bakery, so kind of them.
Yeah, they do their own bread.
The green of the road is cold shite.
That's farmer country.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
literally.
yeah. They just
Yeah, but it's apple green. So we show up going, sure, apple green. It's
Yeah.
open at 6 and it's an apple green. We'll get food in there.
right.
I was like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, apple green delis.
some apple green delis are brilliant.
The one actually I met you at, that one's good. I like that one, but that's a
one's
Maxall.
different. That's a mace.
Yeah, it's a mace.
That's a mace. But like the apple green.
One of theirs was a country garage.
Yeah.
That was a country garage.
Yeah, the Holy Cross one.
Huh?
The one at Holy Cross.
The Passage Cross.
Passage Cross out here on the way to Freddy's.
Oh,
yeah, no, that one's good too.
No, we're saying.
Or not
we're
anymore
saying
anyway.
We're saying it's terrible.
It was good. Shit, now they got rid of the deli. But yeah, I think I'm done for the night.
Well, it was just because
So
we were
where's my
going,
phone?
like we were had to be in Dunmore East for 7, so we had to get
So
someone
I'm
to
finishing
open
up.
before
I'm gonna
7.
just very quickly check who's live
Apple Green out there opens at
so that
6,
I can finish up and just raid in on them. It's a very short stream tonight, I'm aware.
and at 6 you were able to go in.
But I wasn't planning on this being a very long stream
We made do.
because I actually have a bunch of stuff to do. So, what do we got? Robson's live, Muso's live, Kander, Westy. Janoger's live. I'm tempted to go with Janoger because Janoger's always a good time. Yeah, and I think Beef just started. But do we go Welsh or Scottish? That is the question. We'll go with Scottish. So yeah, I'm gonna drop a slash raid. I'll be back again tomorrow at 8:30 as per usual. Because I'm gonna just play some Sleeping Dogs, probably. And enjoy that. And yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna close down, have a cup of tea, pack up everything, get ready to go, and then go about cleaning my house. So yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'll see you when I see you, hopefully tomorrow at 8:30. And yeah, other than that, see you then. Have a good one. Oh yeah, and I will be back for more cooking. Probably not next week, maybe in 2 weeks, but we'll see. So I want to... Sorry, I'm not using my usual device for this, which is the problem. So... God. So yeah, I'm still getting used to this laptop. It's a great time. I need to upgrade it still, so I'm going to go to ending and I'm going to pop the raid command. So see you tomorrow at 8:30 for more beatdowns of triads as we develop our story now that Jackie's been unlawfully arrested. So yeah, have a good one.